In this video, I've picked only those games that offer truly realistic graphics. From lifelike environments and dynamic weather to realistic sunlight and stunning blue skies, these games look incredibly close to the real world. So, let's get started. Start with number 15, we have HeadOn.
Scratch one bad guy. That's one less.
If you're looking for a mobile shooter that prioritizes realism over flashy action, this one is definitely worth checking out. The graphics are impressive, the environment feels believable, and features like leaning around corners and tactical room clearing make every firefight feel more immersive. Now, it isn't perfect, struggling with balancing and spawn points, which is exactly why it sits at 15. Still, its raw potential is undeniable. Number 14. Eldoria is a newly released medieval RPG with a stunningly realistic world. But once the initial wow factor wears off, you realize there's no map, no quests, and very little to actually do. The game basically feels empty. Enemies spawn randomly, and it clearly needs more content and polish. Still, if you're looking for a realistic environment, Eldoria is worth checking out. Number 13. King of the Road is a highway racing game where you'll participate in different types of events like time trial, countdown, speed attack, and more. What surprised me most was how realistic and detailed the visuals look. The highways, realistic lighting, day-night cycle, and traffic system make every drive feel immersive. However, the driving physics and menu design could use a bit more polish. Still, for a relatively new game, it's a solid addition to the mobile highway racing genre. Number 12. Leo's Fortune is an award-winning platformer that still looks impressive even by today's standards. I was genuinely surprised by how detailed and beautiful the environments are. The animations are incredibly smooth, and every level feels handcrafted with care. Gameplay revolves around solving physics-based puzzles and avoiding traps. The game isn't very long, and some players might find it a bit easy, but the combination of stunning visuals and polished gameplay still makes Leo's Fortune one of the most visually impressive platformers on mobile. Number 11. King of Crabs is probably one of the craziest battle games I've ever played. Instead of soldiers or cars, you're controlling a giant crab and fighting against dozens of other players on a huge island. What impressed me most was the detailed environments, realistic water, and vibrant world design. As you explore, you'll find food and weapons, grow bigger by defeating enemies, and become the biggest crab on the map. The concept sounds ridiculous, but it's surprisingly fun and visually impressive. Number 10. Car Parking Multiplayer 2 is a game that most mobile racing fans already know. But with the addition of the Italy map, the game looks even better than ever, featuring realistic roads, cities, and beautiful scenery. Combined with its huge open world, detailed car interiors, and multiplayer features, it's still one of the best realistic driving games on mobile. Number 9. Lumberjack Simulator 3D is one of those relaxing games that completely surprised me with its realistic environments. You start with a simple axe, chop down trees, sell the wood, and gradually build your own logging business. What I liked most was driving through the forests and watching the detailed landscapes. Overall, it's not action-packed, but great for relaxing and exploring realistic environments. Number 8. Truck Simulator Big Rigs is one of the most realistic trucking games I've ever played on mobile. The game features detailed truck interiors, realistic physics, dynamic weather, and massive US-inspired roads that make every journey feel authentic. What I liked most is that it goes beyond simple deliveries, letting you buy garages, manage your fleet, and buy your own trucking business. Now, I know this might start a debate because Truckers of Europe 3 is incredibly realistic, but if we're purely talking about graphics, I personally think this game looks better. Number 7. CrisisX is one of the most ambitious survival games I've ever played on mobile. Set in a zombie-infested open world, the game lets you explore massive environments, do survival activities, and fight both zombies and other players. What impressed me most was the scale of the world and the realistic environments. However, I do have one concern about the game's future. The survival genre is already crowded with titles like Once Human, Darkest Days, and several others, so it'll be interesting to see whether CrisisX can build a strong enough player base to stand out. Number 6. Grimzone is a survival game that impressed me with its realistic graphics and detailed post-apocalyptic world. You'll explore abandoned buildings, search for supplies, and fight zombies and bandits as you try to survive. The atmosphere is great, but bugs, control issues, and a lack of polish can get in the way. Right now, it feels like a solid concept that just needs a bit more work. Number 5. War Thunder Mobile is one of the few games that successfully combines land, sea, and air combat into a single experience. What impressed me most is the sheer variety of vehicles, allowing you to command tanks, warships, and aircraft in large-scale battles. The visuals are highly detailed, the environments look realistic, and the combat itself is incredibly immersive. Every shot, explosion, and vehicle hit feels impactful, with a level of detail that you rarely see in mobile games. Overall, it's a great game. Number 4. Drive CSX is probably a game that many of you have already played, and for good reason. It's easily one of the closest things to BeamNG.Drive on mobile. The game focuses on realistic driving and crash physics, where vehicles don't just get scratched. They bend, crumple, and break apart based on the impact. Honestly, I can't think of another mobile game that comes close to this level of vehicle damage simulation. Number 3. The Division Resurgence. If we're talking about dynamic weather and lifelike environments, this game absolutely nails it. Exploring its detailed version of New York City feels incredibly immersive, with changing weather and a realistic day-night cycle constantly transforming the world around you. It often feels more like a console game than a mobile one. Number 2. NTE is probably the only anime-style game on this list, but the level of detail is so impressive that it almost feels unreal for a mobile game. The city is packed with detail, the lighting looks incredible, and the reflections, weather effects, and animations make the world feel surprisingly alive. Personally, I enjoy this game. It's like playing GTA but in an anime world. And finally, at number 1, Racing Master is probably the closest thing to a AAA racing game on mobile right now. The graphics are absolutely stunning, with incredibly detailed car models, realistic lighting, reflections, and real-world inspired tracks that often look more like a PC game than a mobile one. So if you're looking for realistic graphics in a racing game, Racing Master is hard to beat.